Kelso with the kick-off, both sides on the park, and the early stages of the final are now underway. Kelso against Melrose then in the 2025 playing of the Berwick Sevens here at Scremerston, and an early touch in this final for Connor Spence, who set up a position down the right hand side, but it's now worked its way centrally to Hamish Weir, who picks up nice little offload, and again Corey Goldsborough for Melrose looking to try and shape an opening. Once more Spence takes the ball into the 22, recycled very quickly by a Melrose side looking to try and get the opening score in the game. Spence again takes the ball on, and it's picked up there inside the 22, round the corner they go. Melrose then looking to open the scoring. Douglas Crawford, who's been at the heart of much of Melrose success so far this afternoon, works his way around the back of that right post, plants the ball down and opens the scoring for Melrose. On then go Kelso once more, and fine tackle coming in as Robbie Tweedy was trying to break the line of defensive cover. Into the 22 they go once more. McNeil has it and spins the ball out towards that right hand side, and again Patterson in that distinctive scrum cap is able to wheel his way around, straighten up, then drive his way towards the line, beating two Melrose players and planting the ball down, and that's exactly the response that Kelso were looking for, and two of their experienced campaigners linking up well. McNeil, as he's often done, has been one of the assisters this afternoon for Kelso, and Patterson on this occasion the finisher, and suddenly Kelso find themselves right back in the tie. Kelso then winners in 08, looking just to add to their success here. That restart kick does carry and is an inviting one for the respective sixes to go up then together. It comes back then on the Melrose side. Douglas Crawford again working its way towards the left, then the right. The huge frame of Bruce McNeil in the way, and Kelso suddenly have possession once more. Back there you can see the halfway line, and Melrose playing that high defensive line. Now it looks as if they're going to try and occupy Douglas Crawford perhaps as the sweeper. He's sitting in the deepest lying position just now. Whether he'll stay there or try and work his way forward in attack, and he comes right up now flying in behind, has to reverse and chase back as the grubber kick trundles into the 22 and into touch.
I think when you get to the final stage, both teams try and just kind of find each other out a little bit and a wee bit more reserved. You know, how many times in football do you see the cup finals be 0-0 for so long because teams are just trying to find each other's weak points, and that's what's happened so far. Both teams just kind of coming into the game a little bit calm and collected, just try to not make out any mistakes and be reserved that way.
A little bit of an overthrow, and Patterson taking the ball right up there, and it's the figure of Bruce McNeil almost losing his jersey. He straddled over the ball. He was going to give up that for absolutely no one there as it comes back once again, and you can see Burton just trying to find a position himself in that Kelso attack. It's somewhat stagnant just at the moment as Melrose have managed to win that little battle and get possession back right on their own try line. Now again Mackay across on that far side, clawed to the ground, and Melrose again looking to try and regroup and reorganise on their left hand side in the bright sunshine. It's certainly very chilly in the shadows, but in the sunshine it's a bright spring if somewhat breezy day. Melrose looking to try and blow away any cobwebs from yesterday, and again they've broken more than half the length of the field here, and Goldsborough just going to end up in underneath the posts, exactly where the kickers prefer to touch down, and he's going to try and back himself, I would imagine, to add the extra 2 points, and that's no problem at all. That's a further 2 points. The referee signalling that is us at half time, and 14 points to 5 the scoreline. So Melrose on 2 occasions have been very clinical, but aware of Kelso's threat and danger as the point of part men responded, and Melrose have the advantage at the interval. As Crawford restarts, so we're into the second half of this 2025 Berwick Sevens final, with Melrose in front by 14 points to 5, and Kelso in possession just outside of their own 22 just now, and then Patterson, one of the central figures, finds a little bit of space in that scrum cap. It's clawed to the ground there, the referee though intervening, penalising Melrose, and a chance for Patterson and from Kelso to go again just on the edge, just a fraction outside the 22. The little tap 4 options towards the left hand side, and again Kelso just looking to bring in the likes of Duncan Smith involved in this second half. They are certainly closed down very quickly on the edge of the 22, but again Melrose are penalised once more. So from a similar position, just a little bit further left, Patterson has it now, was sliding down there, the challenge coming in there from Connor Spence, but Kelso up and just beyond that 10 metre line. Back they go again, looking to try and reorganise and float the ball out towards this right hand side. And Kelso once more. Well, Mackenzie Shaw was occupying some space on the right hand side. He was tackled, it's been stripped and taken on by Declan Mackay once again. He's able to bring Clark into play once more, taken on there by Crawford out towards a central position, and then Connor Spence coming crashing through there, the very heart of the 22. Melrose can't get a clean pick up there, but Bruce McNeill going right into the heart of the scrummage. So a set piece, and Patterson picks up at the back of the scrum, eyes up what is in front of him. Now an opportunity here for Kelso to go up and over the halfway line. There's a good piece of running here from Kelso, and again it's William Tweedy who's brought down just on that 10 metre line. Kelso recycling quickly. You can understand they're in a hurry, but they'll want to just keep their heads as they've got ball just on the edge of the 10 metre line on that 15 channel, and a shade of shadow cast by the main stand here at Scremerston. And that ball just out the side door there, evading Dwayne Patterson. The apologies coming. No change in the scoreline since the interval, but Kelso just trying to mix up their attacking options as they try and find a way back into this final. The margin then 14 points to 5 in favour of Melrose. The underarm throw in at the line out, that sails over the head of Bruce McNeill. Who is it now? Receiving it from Patterson. Now McNeill rolling back the ears. Can he finish it off himself? Well, he's gobbled up ground inside that 22. Kelso have got players out wide if they find them. They do now, and Kelso are going to be in down that left hand channel for a score. And it was Robbie Tweedy drifted out wide inside that 22, patiently waiting on the ball, making his way out towards him. And from a Kelso point of view, that was exactly the score they were looking for, probably at the time in the match they were looking for, because it buys them a bit more time to score again and maybe turn this time its head. Yeah, and it's 3 players that we talked about being so influential. You talked about the influence that players like McNeill and the Tweedy brothers have, and that was a try perfectly created by those 3 players. It was all about how they were able to manage the space that was in front of them, and then the tactical ability from Kelso as a whole to notice the space out wide. It would have been a disaster had they not went out wide. There was about 4 men unmarked. 14 points to 12, so Kelso right back into this final with a couple of minutes of the final left to play. Patterson then, an inviting kick as the wind just drops momentarily as the ball was flying in the air, and it's gathered now by Melrose just on the edge of the 22. Crawford tries to get into his running, is forced to swing round there as Kelso players gripping the jersey. Kelso then conceding, and Melrose on their own 10 metre line have got a chance to stand tall and breathe again. Bruce McNeill, I'm sure, will certainly point out 1 or 2 frustrations towards the match referee. Whether the referee will take heed or not is a completely different matter, but Melrose then working their way back towards Clark, just on the edge of that 22. Again they go once more just outside the 22, trying to find a little bit of space, running just around the corner there. Robbie Tweedy having to track back, and Melrose still in possession of the ball there, and a fine bit of running from Corey Goldsworth as it's back now with Melrose, and again galloping run on then towards, can see Henderson in position to gather possession of the ball, and Callum Henderson was just on the shoulder of the breakaway player, and Callum Henderson has been awarded the score. He stands tall, still clutching the ball under the right arm, and that a clinical score for a Melrose side that were beginning perhaps to rock just ever so slightly. Yeah, I thought they were beginning to show a little bit of the tiredness in them in the beginning of the second half. I thought it was starting to show in their legs, but no, they've managed to regather themselves after conceding that try, and the score's becoming so close, and they've restored that lead, and Melrose, who are one step closer to lifting that trophy and doing the double. 19 points to 12 then, Melrose in the sunshine at Scremerston this spring Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, blowy, bright blue skies overhead but breezy, and no doubt the conditions, the wind have had some impact on certainly the respective sides in their approach to a kicking game, as Bruce McNeil, well, he'll certainly not be putting boot to ball himself. He'll use his burly frame to try and barge his way through the Melrose players. Patterson, again, Kelso hemmed inside their own 22, clattering into the challenge there. Cammy Thompson taking a sore one, Patterson picking up now, trying to find a little bit of space. A converted try would bring Kelso level. Have they got enough time to try and work their way back into Melrose territory and find a way of winning this potential final? But there's still work to do. Bruce McNeil, he'll certainly not give up without a fight. Remember, Andy Tate sustaining a leg injury earlier on in the competition, so minus the skills and experience of Andy Tate, as Kelso still trying to drive up towards halfway. William Tweedy this time is bundled to the ground. Reinforcements coming in now, and Kelso again looking to try and work their way beyond the halfway line. Players on the ground just now, Melrose backing away, decision going the way of Kelso. The quick tap is taken, and Robbie Tweedy again tries to maraud his way up and beyond that 10 metre line. Another blast of the referee's whistle as the ball is taken into contact without releasing, and Melrose then, one or two players, hands behind their heads, taking deep breaths. They know that they're ever so close to a double winning Sevens weekend. A little tap, the referee has signalled that indeed is the end of the contest, and it means that Melrose are winners by 19 points to 12.
Let's go, baby! Well done. That's it. Yeah, we'll get it through the week. Surely. Get on three. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Yes, kid. Woo! That is huge. That is huge. The radiator. Oh.
We came today and we said, what can we do today? And we've gone and won it again. The boys in Hawick yesterday, they put out a shift. They've come back, they rested well last night, and they really performed today as well.
You look a really cohesive unit at this early stage in the Kings of the Sevens series. Just how much time over the last few weeks have you spent just working on the finer points of the Sevens game? Because you look a very well gelled side.
Yeah, we've come together as a unit pretty well. We've been training 3 weeks coming up now, and we've really been putting the work in. So as you can see, it's hopefully been paying off so far, and hopefully it carries on to going forward.
As a player, does it matter if it's pool stages or knockout? Do you have a preference, or do you just accept how it's laid out as a tournament and get on with it?
We'll just take every game as its own game, and then once that's out of the way, we'll move on to the next. We'll just take every game, like I said, and then move on to the next.
Next week's Langham.
Yep.
Will we see you there?
I might not. I'm back to school on Tuesday, so I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to get out. So.
Well, this is the thing, because you've got to juggle your other. Well, I was going to say this becomes the extracurricular activity over
definitely.
school, of course. And thoughts for the remaining rounds of the competition? Can you see yourself lifting the overall championship?
Well, I'd love to. I think that would be great for Melrose as a club, and bringing boys on. There's a few new boys in there as well, so just bring the team on if we manage to get there maybe one day. And
there's a rather big carrot dangling at I was going to say the end of May, towards the end of May, with your own tournament a bit later on this year.
Yeah, so it's a wee bit later, but like you said, we'll just take every game as it comes, and when we get to it, we'll just see what we can do.
Well, many congratulations, a fine medal, a gold medal dangling around your neck. All the best to you for this afternoon and for the remaining rounds of the tournament.